Tension in Kano. Tinubu had to actually flee from Kano State. I haven't seen the level of coldness, rejection from the northern youths. It is clear that the ghosts, the spirits of Buhari are still flocking around in the north, and as it stands, the restlessness of Buhari supported base are looking for another northern leader that they will galvanize and queue behind. While I understand that Atiku is putting everything in place to be the new torchbearer of the Buharists. Yes, the likes of Malami, Professor Pantani, all these people have now, working in cohort with Malam Nasir El-Rufai, who are the structures, the northern pillars of the Alliance Democratic Congress ADC. For me, I think it is a done deal for Tinubu. And for me, I think if care is not taken, if we do not properly cry for Obi and every southern candidate to take hold of ADC, come 2027 might be the end of southern Nigeria. I don't want to talk of Nigeria, because the southern Nigeria, we do not seem to be organized. We do not seem to understand ourselves, where we can work in unity and harmony, where we know that there is strength in unity to fight against these united northern oligarchs. We don't seem to see it. We don't seem to see what is coming before us. We remember how Tinubu has contributed millions of naira to Kano, 100 million, 50 million when there was flood, and when there was, I think there was an attack. In fact, Tinubu used to take his colloquium to Kano. It took it to like 3 times to Kano State. But that code one is a signal that, all this way they do. You they come out. You they what? You they come out. And I can see Atiku is doing everything possibly to hijack the ADC. I can see that Atiku is not even talking about anything about city, nothing like zoning. Atiku has actually literally sent everybody that is telling him zoning. He has sent them away. All the southerners who are part of it, Aregbesola, all the southerners that are in ADC party today, none of them has the capacity. Even the PRO, the Bolaji Balogun, or whatever his name is. The guy who is the spokesperson for ADC, when he was questioned, Oga, what is the arrangement? We know we have this dichotomy in Nigeria. Have you spoken with Atiku? He said he cannot even open his mouth and tell Atiku about zoning. That what they are trying to build in ADC is a platform where anybody and everybody will come on board. You show your interest, you go into that primaries, and whoever comes in will get. This is just a lie, another setup. It's a clean setup. Have you forgotten what INEC did to us in 2023? INEC were the one that came out with guidelines. They told us that IRF, we're going to count the election, conduct the election in IRF, and there will be an immediate electronic transmission. And then all of a sudden, INEC said there's no network, glitch, and then they switched it off. When they got to the court, what do we have? The court said, well, it is the same INEC that brought out the guidelines, but guidelines are not laws. Are they constituted? Were they legislated? And these are just mere guidelines. And in the event that a network glitches happen, they wouldn't pause the election. And at the end of the day, we have Tinubu in power. And that is what I'm suspecting Atiku wants to do for Obi in ADC. They probably want to run Obi street, right? Yes. And by extension, if Atiku goes into the presidential election, I can categorically tell you that Atiku will win the whole of the North. I'm not talk about the middle belt, but you see the whole of the North, Atiku will win it. Yes. As a man who does not believe in Nigerian contraption, I might not necessarily have anything to lose, but the bragging rights will be lost forever. It's as simple as that, because we will no longer be saying that the South we are not educated, because we cannot agree, put our differences aside. we are acting like the barbarians. I mean, it's just tragic. It's just tragic. Femi Falana has said that. I mean, there's so much more to talk about in this coming election and the very existence of this country called Nigeria. I just want to say that Tinubu, towards 2027, I want you to, you have created most states, right? Because for me at this stage, I don't want to continue to put all my apples and orange in one basket. That by 2027, perhaps a Peter Obi will come and save me. No, I don't want to do that, because I don't. Obi has told me he's not desperate for power, and whether you're an obedient like me, you've heard it. But you and I, the obedient, are desperate. But our principal is not desperate. So I don't want to put my oranges and apples, everything in one basket. Okay? I will say that if a Tinubu will be ousted by Atiku, I just want to wish that Tinubu will have the wisdom before 2027 to please take Nigeria into regional structure. Sefini, he should have that courage. Take Nigeria into regional structure. That if that is done, it will have everybody's support. Because the Senate that we have today, I don't think we've ever had a rubber stamp that is so soft like this Akpabio's. Akpabio's Senate is so malleable. You can literally squeeze it, you can squash it, you can break it, you can just do everything with Akpabio. And I think a Tinubu can actually achieve this. Because the gang up from the northern oligarch, that storm, if care is not taken, will sweep Tinubu away, and it might probably sweep Obi away too, because Obi has the battle to fight in ADC. I don't trust Labour Party. I do not trust Labour Party. You cannot tell me that at this stage Obi should still remain in Labour Party. How can we be sure that Labour Party, that Obi has always been saying that has internal affairs, has this, that the federal government presence is in Labour Party? And are we going to advise Obi to go back there? Are we trying to just live from fry pan to fire? We have to break away. We have to know what direction we are going to. Because for me, I don't want the North to get that power by 2027. It's a blow, a brutal blow against the Southerners. It doesn't matter if you think I am Yoruba and maybe perhaps the Yoruba man has had his turn. No, it is not about that. I am not in any way any form of benefit from this regime. No, I'm not even poorer. I'm now poorer than I used to be under Buhari. Yes, looking at the economic indices, I've prayed for Buhari to resurrect and come and continue his government, because Tinubu has literally made Nigerians poorer. But the point is this: Atiku the desperado, that guy. So many people have asked him, the pastors, the elite, the likes of Anyaku. So many people have asked him, Oga, Obi is part of the ADC. The obedient movement have asked openly, Obi is coming. Let Obi be the forerunner. Right? Yet, Atiku said, no, we will go to the primaries. We'll go in there, we'll fight it out, and when we fight it out, whoever wins will be the torchbearer, and he will put his support for him. And then there are new allegations that Atiku is now paying millions, as I saw it on Parallel Fact News. So you can imagine the schemes. I don't know where Obi stands, and I'm just not ready to take the chances with Atiku. I'm not just ready to take the chances. Atiku is too deadly. I have a fear that Atiku will be more deadlier than Tinubu himself. Because Atiku simply wants to continue where Buhari stops in terms of the Fulanization agenda. And Atiku will promise heaven and earth to the deep state, to the Fulani deep state, to the Fulani elders, who will hand over Atiku to the followers of Buhari. Atiku will vow, do everything. I mean, we know what Galadima said, right? So there are some people who are still behind the doors, who are calling the shots, who are saying one or two things. And they are looking for the perfect fit, the perfect guy who can fulfill the Fulanization agenda. They can see that Tinubu is in fact, they are more or less calling Tinubu a fake Muslim self. They don't even know where to categorize Tinubu. As far as they are concerned, Tinubu was a mistake to them that never should have been made. So for them, is they need to bring in someone. They need to bring in someone who will do their bidding. And the votes of Buhari are up for grab. I have come to the conclusion that the South might never unite. Maybe in terms of the Buhari, I mean the Baptists and the obedience, I have come to that term. So this is why I'm calling, and I hope, I pray, if Tinubu will move the nation towards regional government, the Nigerian people, the South, the Middle Belt will support him towards that. But if he fails, and Obi does not take a firm stand immediately, whether in ADC or Labour Party, I can see Atiku coming in, and the future is looking so bleak, so scary. And these are where the prophecies of Mazi Nnamdi Kano towards the Nigerian state. You know, these are the prophecies. The likes of Femi Falana have said so many things that talking about a peaceful change of constitution, that will never happen, that it is only through revolution. So many people have said this. Anyaku have also said it. Shewore has been crying it. You know, so I mean, we are getting to the stage, and for me, I think 2027 might be the end of this contraption. Because yes, the pressure is high. We can see the intensity, the climate. Nigerians are awake. The Fulanis are getting scared. This is why you see the Sultan coming online and telling us that social media is a terrorist organization, because they know that the Nigerian people are now getting their senses. Their eyes are now open. They have the understanding that, wow, this is why we have been stagnant for a very long period of time. All right, so these are the issues, and we must get that. Indeed, we must get to a common ground. Otherwise, the North might just snatch that power again. And yes, we might think we are getting closer to that line where we want to break free. But if a person like Atiku, who, if he gets the support of Buhari, you know the kind of vow, the kind of oath, blood oath, you go swear in front of the burial ground of Buhari and Usman Danfodio, tell them, say, I'll never be against the Fulani agenda. It's as simple as that. If we go and do that, and if they do everything, eventually Tinubu gets kicked out, and then it's a sorry state for us.
Empowered to issue guidelines and accept any method being fit to have elections. INEC under Professor Mahmoud came out publicly and on several occasions. They were going to use device machines for accreditation of voters. We're also going to transmit election results electronically, instantly. But in the case of Airtel and Atiku, the Supreme Court said the use of device machines and transmission of results electronically was optional while the result of us. My duty is simple. I can simply say, Chair, that I hereby suggest that the National Assembly should amend the electoral 2022 to allow the use of device machines and electronic transmission of results under by making them part of the 2022 electoral. But if I say that, please don't laugh at me. If I say that, I may be talking to the left. the current members of the National Assembly, and I have profound respect for, I think I fully identify the member of the National Assembly here. I have my respect for you, sir. I want to say without any fear of contradiction that the current set of legislators are very comfortable with the current electoral system that allows manipulation of an legislation of voting. And they are not willing to allow results to be electronically transmitted. So that the status quo can continue. Where we distinguish ourselves as the largest black nation on earth, but as unable to conduct credible elections. My respected parents Fulani just said it. It's not the duty of the court to determine winners of elections. But in Nigeria today, until the day of the Supreme Court, winners of elections are not. So what I declare temporarily on the huge sums of money in the case of governors to go from the higher court to the Supreme Court, in others from the election tribunal to the Court of Appeal. But let me say we confirm it. As my brother here, that this is the basis of my solution. There are people in the National Assembly who believe we are wasting our time. Do you understand what I'm saying? Right now, constitutional review exercise is going on. It has been going on since 2010. Every section of the National Assembly must conduct an election, constitutional review. And what did they do? They were in Lagos a couple of weeks ago, 2 days, 2 hours. And they expect everybody in the Southwest, 6 days, to travel to Lagos, in spite of the poverty of our people and the security in the country. In some of the regions, there are 7 states. So you expect people to travel from Sokoto, from Jigawa to Kaduna. And what they are doing, they say, we have conducted constitutional review. There are around constituencies, 360 constituencies in the country. Why have you not gone to your constituency to mobilize the people, to sensitize the people? So for them, what we are doing here is time wasting. They are going to amend the constitution. Let's not deceive ourselves. The constitution is subjected to periodic review. As long as you have the current political system in place, and therefore something. The only way you can change away the 1999 constitution is through a revolution. And I'm saying this, all that the current political system, the executive and the legislative organs of government are very, very comfortable with the current constitution. And let me just say this. When we are gathered here, when you are talking of federalism, the National Assembly is currently expanding the powers of the Senate. More powers are being concentrated in the center. Just a few examples. In 2003, when they said governors cannot have stability, because by virtue of section 214 of the Constitution, there shall be only one police force in Nigeria. But that's it. Another police force was set up